Hello class, this is Professor Gildersleeve. I wanted to give you a brief video to show you how to set up your title page in APA style. I'm going to share my screen here. Give me just a second. Okay, and I'm also going to blow it up to full screen so you can see the entire page. Whoa, that's kind of freaky. Just a second while I go over to a Word document. Okay, you should now be seeing what I'm seeing, which is a blank Word document on your screen. Okay, to set up your page in APA style, a couple of things to do beforehand. Number one is decide on the font and size of the paper. Now, in APA 6th edition, Times New Roman was required. APA 7th edition gives you a bit more leeway in choosing your own font. You can choose some of the ones that work best are Calibri, Arial, maybe a couple of others. You can basically choose whatever font that you want, but make sure that it's a font that is clear and easy to read and not something that's overly flowery or distracting. For example, something like Algerian here, you can see that that's a very, very flashy font, and it would be very distracting in a paper. So don't use a font like that. Stick with Times New Roman or Calibri or Arial. I'm going to use Times New Roman because that's what I'm most familiar with, and also because a lot of documents in professional writing are written in Times New Roman. For the size of the font, 11 or 12 point works best depending on the font that you use. 11 point seems to work better on Calibri. 12 point is preferred for Times New Roman because it brings it up much clearer. Don't use a font size that is too large or too small. And whatever font size you do pick, make sure it's consistent throughout the paper. Sometimes people make their titles appear bigger than the rest of the paper. That's not necessary. In an APA style, the title should be the same size as the rest of the paper. Okay, the other thing to do before you set up, as you set up your paper, is go to where it says paragraph, click on that arrow next to it, and this pop-up menu will appear. Down towards 3/4 of the way down, you will see line spacing, and excuse me, you'll notice that it's the default setting is multiple. Change that to double and click OK. And what that does is that will make sure that your entire paper is now double spaced. Okay, when you are ready to type your title page, excuse me, APA style prefers that you skip 2 inches down from the top of the page. You'll notice where the flashing cursor is. That's the top of the page. Now, there are maybe a couple of ways to measure the 2 inches down, but if you go over to the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see a ruler, and if you go down here, you'll see where the 2 is. That's 2 inches. So go here, bring your cursor down to where that 2 is, and then type the title of your paper. Now, always give your title, always give your paper an interesting title. Don't just call it assignment number 1 or week 1 assignment or whatever. That's a boring title. Give your title something that's interesting, something that's going to inform readers what they are going to be learning in your paper, and intrigues them enough to want to read it. Now let's say I'm going to write a how-to essay on how to ride a bicycle. So my title can be something as simple as, did I say how to ride a bicycle? I meant how to fix a bicycle. So let's say how to fix a bicycle. And you can be more inventive than that, but just for purposes of demonstration, this would make a good working title for an essay. Okay. First thing to do after I've typed it in is center it, and go up to center text. Go up to your taskbar, and these lines here which are centered. That's your centered command. Click on that, and you'll notice that it's the paper. The title is now centered. The other thing to do with the title is to bold it. So go over here where the B is in the taskbar, click on that, and it bolds the title. Now, if you're familiar with APA 6th edition, then you probably know that you were to put your name immediately below the title. But APA 7th edition is a little different. APA 7th edition wants you to skip a line between the title and your name. So I'm skipping a line, and on the next line below that, I'm typing my name. Now, did I just do something wrong here? Notice that my name is in bold type. APA 7th edition says only to put the title of the essay in bold. So the other text that goes on your title page should not be in bold. So I can highlight my name here and deselect bold, and then it goes back to normal text. Okay, underneath your name, the next thing to do is type the title of the college and the title of the university. This can be a little bit confusing because some people think of college and university as the same thing, but a college is usually a division of a university. It's part of the university, but it's not the whole university. Now, in some classes, if you just type the name of the university, University of Arkansas, Grantham, that might be sufficient. But some instructors may require you to be more technically accurate than that. And so what you would do is type in the title of the college, whatever college the course you're in belongs to. If I'm taking EN 101, for example, an English course, that's part of the general studies course. And that's part of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. If you're taking a business course, then you would type in the name of the business school. If you're taking an engineering course, you would type in the name of the engineering school and so forth. But for our purposes, we're going to use the name of the college that EN 101, the English courses are part of, which is called the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. And separate them with a comma. Okay. Now below that, type the name of the course that you are taking. For example, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use EN 101, English Composition 1, and it should appear this way. Notice that the number of the course comes first, then there's a colon, and then the name of the course, exactly as it should appear on the course menu. Below that, type the name of your instructor. Now, it may seem a little bit odd that I'm both the instructor and a student in this course, but again, I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. And in reality, you would have your name going at the top and then the name of your instructor at the bottom. If your instructor holds a doctorate, type doctor, oops, I want a period there. Doctor in front of his or her name. If he or she doesn't hold a doctorate, you can put Mr. or Mrs. or however they prefer to be addressed. For me, sorry about that. I did not mean to make that go all the way over. For me, it's fine to just put my name there and use both the first and last names. And below that, put the date. Depending on the school you are in or the organization you work for, the format of the date may look different than this. I know the military has its own style of presenting dates. If there's doubt or if there's no preference, a good practice is to use the standard way of presenting dates in American English, which is the month, the day, comma, and then the year. Okay, we're almost done. We have one more thing to do, and that is that we need to put the page number on the page. To put the page number, go up to your taskbar and where it says Insert, Click on that, and then 3/4 of the way over, you'll see page number. Click on that, and you have a list of options that drop down. Click on top of the page, and you'll see several different options. An APA style, always pick plain number 3. Okay, click on that, and the page number automatically appears at the top of your page. The good thing about this command is that the page number will appear on every subsequent page. When you type at page 2, the number 2 will appear at the top of the page, and so forth. One thing to be careful of, though, is make sure that the font of the page number matches the font of the rest of the page. Now, it may be kind of difficult to tell here, but in some cases, if you're using Arial, for example, or Calibri or a different font, sometimes you may notice the font at the top of the page is different. And believe it or not, that this sounds kind of picky, but it can stand out, and you don't want the page number to stand out. You want it to do its job without calling attention to itself. Now, I've used Times New Roman 12 point throughout here, so all I need to do is highlight the page number and go up here to the taskbar and again change the font to Times New Roman, the font size to 12 point, and then I've got my page. And to get back to the body. And okay, this is all you need to do. This is how your title page should look for all of your essays and most of your other assignments if a title page, if APA style is required. If you have questions or comments, please reach out to your instructor for advice. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Okay, and I hope you found this video helpful. Again, if you have questions, reach out, and have a great day.